What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. Well, today we are checking out a fake Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus that costs about $90. Now, I don't recommend that you actually buy a fake device because aside from the physical appearance that may be similar to the original one, you're not getting anything else. So you're not getting the same performance, you're not getting the same cameras, and you're not getting the same reliability. So buying a fake device, it's like throwing away $90. I understand that a lot of people can't afford a real S9 Plus, but buying something like this so you can show off, it's not the way to go. You're probably better off to buy a Xiaomi device for about $100, and that phone is gonna be much better than this one. And talking about Xiaomi devices, I'm actually giving away a Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus, and the giveaway is still open for about 7 or 8 days, so if you wanna check that out, I'm gonna leave a link in the video's description. Alright, and we're going back to our fake Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and starting with the box. So even though the box looks very similar to the box that you'd get on the original device, if you look closer you're gonna notice that some information is wrong. Inside the box we even get some fake AKG headphones, and I guess that's a nice touch, mostly considering the phone costs only about $90. The phone itself looks very similar to the original S9 Plus. We have the same metallic frame, we have the power button that's sitting on the right hand side, we have the slot for the SIM card at the top, and on the left we have the volume keys and the Bixby button. Of course, Bixby doesn't actually work on this device and it's like a fake Bixby, but the button is still there. At the bottom we have the 3.5mm audio jack, we have a USB-C port, the microphone and the speaker. Now the fake device we don't get dual speakers, so the original one, the speaker at the top here and the speaker at the bottom work together, but to this one you're only getting a working speaker at the bottom of the phone. The back of the phone looks very similar to what you'd get from the original S9 Plus, however the back on the fake device it's made out of plastic, so it's gonna be much easier to scratch. We also have two cameras on the back of this phone, however one of the cameras it's actually fake, so one of them doesn't do anything, and the main camera, so the one that's sitting at the top, has a much smaller lens than the original device, so that's a very good thing to look for if you're looking to see if you're buying a fake device or a real device. The fingerprint scanner just below the cameras it's also fake, so even though you can enable that fingerprint security, you can unlock the phone touching that fingerprint scanner with any finger or any object, so whatever touches that fingerprint scanner the phone will unlock. That heart rate monitor on the back of the phone is fake as well, and even though you can start measuring your heart rate, well, the phone is gonna give you a random value even if you're not touching that sensor, and that's kind of funny. Moving on to the camera app. So the camera app on the fake device doesn't look anywhere close to the camera app that you'd get on the original S9 Plus. So we don't have the 2x optical zoom, we don't have the portrait mode and so on. And this would be a good thing to check if you're buying a used Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Surprisingly enough, the pictures that I took with this phone with plenty of light weren't horrible. I mean, they weren't that great either, but they were better than I was expecting. Now, unfortunately, you can't really take any good pictures in low light because all the pictures are kind of blurry and super grainy. Moving on to the front of the device. So even though the device looks very similar to the S9 Plus, when you first look at it, the screen is actually smaller. So you have a 6-inch screen with this one compared to a 6.2-inch screen on the original S9 Plus. Now, the screen resolution on this device it's only 1440 by 720, so much lower resolution. This is also an IPS panel, and on the original S9 Plus we get a Super AMOLED display, and you can easily tell when you're looking at the always on display because with the fake device you can see that the entire screen is on. The UI looks somewhat similar to the UI that you would find on the original S9 Plus, but you can definitely tell that this phone is much slower. Now, if you check the scores on the Antutu Benchmark and the Geekbench 4, the scores are also very low. Now, there is some information that it's faked in there, so you can see that we have a Snapdragon 835 or something, even though the original device has a Snapdragon 845, and you can see that we have 6 gigs of RAM, but in reality we only have about 1 gig of RAM available on this device. The settings app also looks somewhat similar to what you'd find on the original S9 Plus, however if you start opening any of those menus in there, you're definitely gonna tell that you're looking at a fake device. Now, since this is an Android device, of course we have access to the Google Play Store and you can install any app from the Google Play Store, but no app is gonna do as good as it does on the original S9 Plus just because this phone is using an underpowered CPU. It's using the MediaTek 6580, and that's a quad-core CPU that was released about 4 years ago. So fairly old CPU and underpowered CPU for sure. So as I said at the beginning, the physical aspect of this phone is the only similarity with the original S9 Plus. Other than that, nothing is the same. The performance isn't the same, the screen isn't the same, the camera isn't the same, pretty much nothing is the same, just that the phone looks somewhat similar. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.